Sometimes, you just need to be alone and let your tears out. Silence is the best response to someone who doesn't value your words. Being alone has a power that very few people can handle. I want to be alone, with someone else who wants to be alone. Sometimes, I just want to disappear and see if anyone would miss me. Leave me alone. I'm not lonely, I'm just taking a break from the chaos. It's better to be alone than being with someone who makes you feel alone. I am not antisocial. I am just pro-solitude. Sometimes, the best way to be happy is to learn to let go and be alone. Being alone doesn't mean being unhappy. The world is full of plenty of interesting and enjoyable things to do. I just need some time alone to clear my mind. The more powerful and original a mind, the more it will incline towards the religion of solitude. There are days when solitude is a heady wine that intoxicates you with freedom. Sometimes you need to be alone. Not to be lonely, but to enjoy your free time being yourself. The soul that sees beauty may sometimes walk alone. In solitude, the mind gains strength and learns to lean upon itself. Loneliness expresses the pain of being alone and solitude expresses the glory of being alone. The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself. Sometimes you have to stand alone just to make sure you still can. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. Solitude is the place of purification. I just need some time in a beautiful place to clear my head. Solitude is where I place my chaos to rest and awaken my inner peace. A little while alone in your room will prove more valuable than anything else that could ever be given you. The best thinking has been done in solitude. Solitude gives birth to the original in us, to beauty unfamiliar and perilous, to poetry. In solitude, we are least alone. I think it's good for a person to spend time alone. It gives them an opportunity to discover who they are and to figure out why they are always alone. Sometimes, the most productive thing you can do is relax. Sometimes, the person who tries to keep everyone happy often ends up feeling the loneliest. Isolation is a way to know ourselves. Leave me alone to enjoy the beauty of the world. There are days I drop words of comfort on myself like falling leaves and remember that it is enough to be taken care of by myself. If you want to be happy, learn to be alone without being lonely. Solitude sometimes is the best society. Being alone is very difficult. The eternal quest of the human being is to shatter his loneliness. I love to be alone. I never found the companion that was so companionable as solitude. Without great solitude, no serious work is possible. Solitude is not the same as loneliness. Solitude is a solitary boat floating in a sea of possible companions. I restore myself when I'm alone. It is far better to be alone than to be in bad company. Solitude is as needful to the imagination as society is wholesome for the character. Solitude is the furnace of transformation. There is a pleasure in the pathless woods, there is a rapture on the lonely shore. To find yourself, think for yourself. Solitude is independence. One can be instructed in society, one is inspired only in solitude. Reading well is one of the great pleasures that solitude can afford you. I'm learning a lot about myself being alone, and doing what I'm doing.